I have a bit of a contradictory background. I have sociology and I have fine arts. So my current work on Hindi cinema actually helps me combine the two, in a sense, marry the two. I look at the aesthetics. I look at, a cultural theory, reading the text, a film as text, but I also look at the social, political, economic relations that produce this text and that help reinforce, the messages in the text. So I'm able to do both. I have been working for many years just doing social theory, and I wanted to bring in some of that part of my background into some of the work that I do. Another reason was that I was working in Pakistani prisons, and many of the women that I was working with told me that films had a really important influence in their lives, that they began to change their lives and the ways in which they responded to events and regulations based on what the various film characters were doing. So I realized that this was really, really an important, thing that was influencing their decision making and perhaps allowing them to claim some agency. So what exactly is my work? To look at Hindi cinema, which is comes out of India but is now a global phenomena, and it's known to us as Bollywood, very popular in Canada, particularly among diasporic South Asian youth. Many of them have never been to South Asia. Many of them don't even speak the languages, but they see this as coming out of a home. And so what are they reading into it? Why do they find it so enticing? What is it about their own local context that makes them turn to Hindi cinema? And then how is it that the various regimes that are influencing Hindi cinema then enter into their own lives? So that's part of it. Another part is that many of these films are anti-Muslim. And many of the youth I've spoken to in Canada are also Muslim, so how are they reading that? Also, I've just come back from Pakistan, where I did research with Pakistani women, and they're interested in Hindi cinema, which is phenomenal. So I was interested in how are they reading these frequently anti-Muslim films, and why do they watch them so much? Well, the challenge is that you're making a trip outside the country, and you're going and collecting data, and you're there for maybe 3 or 4 months, and you come back and you're writing it up, and suddenly you realize, oh gee, I needed to talk to this person or that person, or perhaps this type of questioning would have led me to this newer area, or this area that's of interest. And then you can go and ask those second set of questions, which basically means that research is never really complete. You're always expanding and deepening your understanding of the topic. What's really inspiring in the classroom is when students take an interest in the material. Then you feel, or rather I feel, that there is a meaningful discussion going on. They're interested, and I'm pushing the boundaries of what's being discussed in terms of the limits of investigation, the investigation that's in the material. So I find that very inspiring. Student participation, student interest. And that's actually what makes the classroom come alive.